What was determined by the court? The order's out. Is Craig Wright a fraud? Was that actually what happened? Stay tuned to the end. Let's break it all down. You know, we covered this trial here daily. So 27th of March today, and we're going to break down the court's order. It's official. Justice Miller, the High Court of the UK, has made his written declaration. It's the identity trial. This is the infamous identity of Satoshi Nakamoto to be determined in this case or not to be determined. And here's how the court issued its order. It is hereby declared that Dr. Craig Stephen Wright is not the author of the Bitcoin white paper. All right. And subsequently, Dr. Craig Stephen Wright is not the owner of the copyright in the Bitcoin white paper. Dr. Craig Stephen Wright is not the person who adopted or operated the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Dr. Craig Wright is not the person who created the Bitcoin system. Dr. Craig Wright is not the author of the initial versions of the Bitcoin software, including the Bitcoin executable files. And it is further ordered that further relief shall be, to be granted by the court, shall be addressed in the written judgment to come. So, pursuant to this, the parties have a 21 days period till after the handing down of the judgment to make notices and file motions. So, ultimately, is Craig Wright a fraud? None of that's determined. It hasn't been determined yet. I know that a lot of people on the Bitcoin Core side are rooting for the Craig Wright is a fraud. You know, it's common that I go on a Twitter space and then there's somebody yelling at the top of his lungs, Craig Wright is a fraud. You know, I guess the joke's over. So bravo to you guys who were all rooting for that. It's not determined, but maybe it will be determined. We don't know. You know, ultimately, I'm just here to kind of report on this and let you guys know how it came down. We got an official ruling from the court, UK. Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto. There's going to be a written judgment that will come out, and that judgment will be then cause what's called the appealable timeline, and the clock will then start on what's going to happen next. You know, so without the written judgment, there's really no way to kind of add too much commentary on why the court did what it did, because there's no justification in this written order. It just is clarifying. It's affirming what we already heard the last day of trial. So now it's official. It's in writing, you know, and we can put this part of the puzzle to bed. I would say the saga is definitely nowhere near over. It's not even close to being over. And there's really some interesting facts that are happening right now. Looks like, on another note, there's been over right around $140 million of the early Bitcoin Genesis wallets, BTC being moved. That was just yesterday. Something that somebody should take notice of. Those are also the same wallets that look like they were appearing in the Kleiman case, in the Steve Shatters declaration that he put forward to the court. And so it doesn't mean they're from Craig Wright. No, not at all. It doesn't prove they're from Craig Wright. It doesn't mean that at all. But it does mean that the around $140 million, that's, I think it's around 2,000 BTC, has been moved as of yesterday. That's in addition to all this other stuff that's been moved. So I'm going to be following this closely and see what happens, because it looks like the next thing that's going to happen is the court's going to order Craig Wright to pay a fine to the BTC Core developers. Okay, so that'll be really interesting to see what sort of drama can unfold. Is it going to be paid in BTC? Why wouldn't it? It sure makes a lot of sense. They would probably want to take BTC, I would think. So, but yeah, this is official. Craig Wright is, according to the court, he is not Satoshi Nakamoto. He's not the author of the Bitcoin white paper. He did not have a copyright on the Bitcoin system. He wasn't the person that created the Bitcoin white paper or the Bitcoin system at all. It's all finalized. Justice Miller's ruling, stay by. There's going to be a lot more to come. Tomorrow I got a Twitter space with S-Crypt. We got an event coming up in Toronto. More to come on that. I'm kind of under seal on saying too much more than I've already said about it. So I can't say much more. It's going to be but it's going to be in June. And then I'm working on, definitely I'm going to be going to London for sure, y'all. So, I'm going to do a little meetup in London, as a matter of fact. I'll have more information on that when it happens. And we're going to do the game, Alex's game there. So that should be fun to kind of get people all together and play that card game with a group and maybe film it or something. It should be a lot of fun. So, all right, there's the news. Craig Wright's not Satoshi, according to the court. Leave a comment, subscribe, share this video, get the word out, and I'll see you guys at the top.